How's it going, guys? Today is cut flower garden tour day. So this garden tour is going to be broken up to two parts. First one is going to be the cut flower garden, which you all see right here behind me. And the second garden tour is going to be of the entire property. So two parts. Today's part is the cut flower portion of our property. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 rows for our cut flower, and then also I have the back vegetable garden right back there that is also full of cut flowers that I use. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to start back here where it's in shade versus this area that is in full sun, so that way you guys can really see all the details. So I'm going to start with the smallest row, which is sunflowers and some zinnias. So if we come under the willow tree and come over this way, this is the sunflower and zinnia patch. These first ones here are the queen lime with blush and also the Venery's giant purple, which this one is pretty small, so we'll see. And you know, this might just be a menagerie because I have no clue who that one is. Okay, we're just gonna call this the menagerie of zinnias. So a whole bunch of different zinnias here, and then sunflowers. These are the DMR, these are the gold light, and they have started to kind of change. So normally they look like this and they're much larger, but I'm seeing that as they go lower and lower down the branch, they end up looking like this. And I'm pretty sure that the packet told me that it was a single stem variety, and they're definitely branching. So I mean, I'm happy that they're branching because that gives me a million more sunflowers to use. Some of them have definitely like mutated. I mean, you can see this. Look at, there's a petal coming out the middle, and like every single one on this branch. Look at, this is like a double-headed one right here, and it looks like so is this one. Super weird. So this one's all mutated, but it's still kind of fun. The rest of them all look really good. They all look like proper sunflowers, so not mad at that. And then I guess I have one white sunflower. I'm not exactly sure how that happened though, because I've already harvested a sunflower off of here and it was not white. And also, this is not supposed to be a branching variety. I think that this was like peach passion or something like that. And there's no other buds coming out where you can see down here on these branching varieties, you can see that there's buds coming out of every little stem. So I have no clue what's happening with this one and why it's white. It's also a mutated one, as you can see that there's some of the stamens right in there and then there. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one and see what's going on with that. But the rest of these are the DMRs and they look super beautiful. These are the branching ones still, the side branches, and they get pretty good size. And then, I mean, look at that. That's a good size sunflower right there. So really happy with how the sunflowers have turned out. Over here, more zinnias. This was all supposed to be sunflowers, but the birds got to them. So I planted it with sunflower, or with zinnias, and really happy with how these guys are starting. These were planted pretty late, so they're pretty far behind compared to my other zinnias. One giant sunflower, that is the double quick orange is what the tag says down there, and I'll show you guys it when we get to the other side, but it's huge. I mean, you can see the leaves, they're massive. Coming down this way, first dahlia that opened, and it's actually still holding on to its very first bloom. This here is Touche, and this bloom is honestly a couple of weeks old now, and for a bloom to last that long is kind of insane. Where some of the other ones, like especially over in the seeded area, have only lasted a couple days. This one is weeks old. None of these guys have opened yet, but this one has. This is the dahlia called Center Court. There is a bug on there. That's all right. You can hang out. You can hang out. Center Court is an all-white dahlia. Really pretty, bright white dahlia. And then coming this way, this is Teddy, and he is just starting to open. Pretty color. I love it. But I have to show you guys the trunk on this thing. I mean, is that not just insane? That dahlia trunk is huge. This is Teddy, and it's shooting out branches. It was the first one to start popping up. and it's got lots of blooms on it. Then over here, this is Breakout, and Breakout is one of my favorite dahlias. Let me show you guys. There's one down here. I'm gonna pop this off. This is Breakout, and she looks a lot like Cafe au lait, but as she opens up, she will get more yellow center. And Breakout is definitely one of my favorite dahlias. It always performs very well for me. I love the ruffliness of it. This is one of the first blooms, so it doesn't look quite proper. It was also smushed. But really, really beautiful, breathtaking dinner plate style dahlia right here. So highly recommend Breakout. If you want to go Cafe au lait doesn't quite work out as well for me. Breakout always performs. I have 3 or 4 down there that are the Cafe au lait, and 2 of them died, and one of them is like this tall. So Breakout always performs, and I have quite a few of these guys. I think I have another one, I don't know, somewhere right in here. This one is all spent, but you guys can kind of see the leaves or the petals on it were a yellow to a red color. Who is she? I think this is HS Date. Yeah, HS Date. This one has been a really good performer too, HS Date. That goes to a different one. This one, blooms came up and then they're so long. And you guys can see they come all the way down here and they shoot all the way up here. Very, very long blooms. And these ones, they just toppled over. I also think it was labeled wrong. And same with this one here. This is Child Since Pride. And that is not what Child Since Pride is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be a more pinkish purple color. This is like I don't know, soft pink. On camera, it looks like a soft pink, but in person, it looks very white with like a light yellow, buttery yellow center. So that one is definitely wrong. Coming down this way, none of the other dahlias have started to fully open up yet, but they are coming in. So they're growing. You can see this one is budded up. The rest of these are doing great. I had a few that died, so I just popped some coleus in right there, and the rest of these are looking good. This one is the Cafe au lait. You guys can see it's literally the most far behind out of all the dahlias. It's all looking good. Let me show you guys this sunflower. It is so huge. Absolutely massive. Definitely not one that I could use in any type of bouquet. I mean, the center of it is as big as my hand. It's like a basketball size sunflower. It's huge. The bees have loved it, and it'll grow lots of seeds, and I'll save the seeds for the birds. Over here, next row, this is all my Amaranth. This is Red Spike, and this has been really, really fun to use in arrangements. It's so pretty. I prefer these like smaller ones, but I just harvest the offshoots of these bigger ones, and I might use this in like a larger arrangement. And then same thing, this is the Hot Biscuit, and I love these smaller, like medium-sized ones, and I just pop all the leaves off, and it's really, really pretty. You can see I just harvested some there, and another one right here, and so this thing is just gonna continue to produce, and I have absolutely loved having the Amaranth. I really wanted the Emerald Tassel one. I started growing it back there, but it didn't work out. Anyways, this now is my section of dahlias from seed, and these guys are earliest to bloom compared to any of these. I've already been getting flushes and flushes of blooms. So let me show you guys them. There's only 2 in this row with a name. The rest of them I haven't named because I'm not sure if I'm keeping them yet. We're gonna just watch how they perform. So this very first one, I don't think I'm gonna keep. It is very teeny tiny, and the blooms are tiny, and oh, okay, I just destroyed that petal, or that. Okay, never mind. Anyways, I don't think I'm gonna keep this one. I didn't love it. Some of the petals are curling, and it just hasn't been, it's not like a very good size one. Next one is this guy right here, and this one is kind of pretty. I like the very spiky looking leaves on it, but the spiky petals on it. Let's see, I think that might be the newest one. Yeah, this one's definitely the newest one. It's already been blooming a bunch, but it's really pretty. The center of it is very, very striking. Over here, this one just opened up today, and I love this one. The white round petals on it are so sweet. I love the green just right at the base of it. Very, very cute dahlia. I really like this one. I'll probably end up keeping these. Next, this one has they start to bloom and they already look aged. So I don't love it, especially as they do age. I don't love how this one looks, but it does produce a ton of flowers. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm gonna come back to that one on the other side, down this way. This is one that I named after my cousin, Alec, and it literally just looks like sunshine. So this one glows. It's the first one that you see on the property. And the blooms are a really good size. I love this one. So this is Alec. This is the one that I've named. And then I'm going to talk about zinnias, and then I'm going to come down to the other side and show you the other ones. This is zinnias. This is polar bear white and another white one. I think this is the other white one. Let me see if I can find a polar bear white. I don't see any of the polar bear whites in bloom right now, but the polar bear whites don't have the center flowers like that. So as you can see, those are actually the flowers right there, the yellow parts. The polar bear white doesn't have those. But either way, really pretty, just bright white zinnia. I use a ton of these in bouquets, and they were the first ones in the ground. So I have a whole patch here of just pure white zinnias, and they're really pretty. And tip to know when to harvest your zinnias is if it does that, they're not ready. Oh, not ready. Not ready. Oh, look at that. That one is ready. See how it doesn't like wobble? Not ready. Ready. So there's your tip to learn how to know when it's time to harvest your zinnias. And that's all I do is I just come along and I just grab them and shake them, and that's how I know if they're ready. So lots of those guys. Here's the next dahlia, and it does the same aging thing that the other one does, where it looks aged pretty much immediately as the blooms come out. You can see this one is just opening up, and you can already see all the like spots that it has. It's a very tropical looking one, but I don't love how they fade. The petals just fade so quickly on it. So I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on it though and see what it does. It's still fun to just grow dahlias from seed, because like I said, if you like any of them, you keep them and then you name them. So coming down this way, this is my dahlia called Janie, and she produces a lot of flowers, and a lot of good sized flowers. They almost look like cone flowers because of how fuzzy the center is. All of these ones are pretty old blooms. I think this might be a newer one, but I loved the striping on the petals. I thought that they were really, really pretty. But these are all aged ones, so I'll give you guys an update in a couple weeks also when new ones come out. This one and the yellow one were one of the first ones to start blooming from the seed patch. They also started blooming before any of those except for Touche. Touche bloomed very first, and that's what it's holding on to. And then these two bloomed about the same time. Coming down this way, this is a very red one, and I really, really like it. I don't even mind it as it's aged because the petals and the bloom on it's pretty good size, but they come out and they're like this velvety, rich red color. It just, I don't know, in person, they're very velvety. They just are so nice, and it's a very, very striking dahlia. And then the amaranth, and then I have more zinnias just kind of tucked in anywhere that dahlias didn't make it. And then I have a couple eucalyptus, and we'll see if those guys make it down there. And then this here is probably my favorite section to harvest from. They are so nicely in rows. So I have, this is my scabiosa. This is Dark Night scabiosa, and all of these are grown from seed. Really pretty. Oh, hi, little spider. So they start out like this, and then I even love using the seed pods because they age and they look like that. And then this is a pink one. I don't know the variety off the top of my head. I'll pop it up on the screen, but they're really large. And this is an aged one, and this is a brand new one. So you can see they kind of fade in color, but they're so pretty, and I love this pink color. When I go take them to the retirement home, everyone loves them. This is one that hasn't opened fully yet. I mean, I even like using them just like this before they've even slightly opened. Just very interesting. And same thing, I use the seed pods on all of these guys. They all look exactly the same. This one here is the Fatia Morgana. Really love this. It's a buttery, creamy color. It is so nice. You can see this is it just barely opening. This is it fully opened. Let me see if I can find one aged. I like harvesting them at this stage right here. They've just started to open, and this stage is the perfect stage. They look like little pieces of popcorn. And I don't see one that's pretty aged. This one has been kind of last to start blooming, but still pretty nonetheless. Like you can see, like this section right here hasn't even filled in with blooms. I mean, there's 3 plants right there, and they're the shortest, which is super weird. But I don't see any of the aged blooms here on this one. They're all pretty good. And then over here, this is, I think, called like Wedding or something like that. And this one is really fun because it does this like double tiered thing. And the ones that are like right before they're very mature are so pretty. I love this. They look like a wedding cake, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're called Wedding. And then this is it. Oh my gosh, I just love them. They're so pretty. This is it right before it's about to open. It's got all the little like hairs for the seed pods. Here's it starting to open, opened, and then fully mature. Does when it does that like layered thing. Really pretty. I harvest a ton of these white ones here. One of my favorite white flowers. I mean, I just love scabiosa in general. And the white pincushion looking flower of this is so pretty. And what's crazy is it's actually not just one flower. Each individual one of these is a flower. So you can see like there's a flower, there's a flower, there's a flower, there's a flower. So it's a whole bunch of flowers on a single stem. That's how scabiosa work. And they're so pretty. I love them in this mass like this, but they do need staking. As you can see, these ones are starting to kind of like flop over. So I need to pull the netting up a little bit higher, especially right here, just so I don't get any weird stems. Maybe I'll put in another post right here. That'll help so I don't get like wonky stems. You can see these ones are already starting to like have a curve to them because they fell over and then they're reaching for the sun. So coming back down this way, this is more zinnias, and these are some of the softer pink ones that have started to open up. Really pretty. I've loved having these ones. I would like to have more of these next year, and just tons more of the white. I have whites tucked in everywhere. They're really just super easy to use in any arrangement. And then here has been something that I wish I had even more of. This is Gomphrena. This is the, I think, Atomic Orange or something like that. And this whole section right here was supposed to be Gomphrena of 3 different colors, and they all died. We got a weird frost and it took them all, and only this orange one made it. Oh, I see a white one that might have made it. Yep, a white one made it. Last year I had a whole bunch of them and I used them. They don't go very far in an arrangement. I mean, you can see it's a tiny little flower, but they make a really cool little impact to use. So next year I'll try to grow more of them. Okay, I decided to actually come to the other side of the bed. Just because the lighting is starting to get a little bit weird. This here is the Honesty plant, and I didn't realize when I was planting it, but I won't get anything from it first year. I'll only get stuff second year. And you harvest this for the seed pods on it. They get really, really pretty seed pods. So kind of a bummer that I have to wait a whole year. And here is some eucalyptus, and it smells so good when you touch it. Oh, I love it. Another zinnia. I think this is Benary's Giant Purple. Really, really bright, very tropical color zinnia. This here is chamomile, and it has been perfect to use in arrangements, but it's almost done. They're starting to turn a little bit brown, so they're almost done. I probably won't get much more out of that. I have some yarrow right here. This is the summer pastel color. So you get these soft pink colors, yellows, whites, and even softer pink, bright colors, some oranges. The yarrow has been really fun. And then this is same chamomile, but it is a double variety. So let me pop one of these off and pop one of these off. You can see there's the difference. So the double and the traditional single. Down here, this is Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. And I've been harvesting a ton off of this. I love using this in arrangements. They look like Japanese maples. So if you can't grow Japanese maples, this is a really good replacement. And it does this much. It's been on the ground for only a few months now. I mean, this whole This whole cut flower garden right here, none of this was in January. January 30th, I put the first row of dirt down, and then it had been a couple months. So, you know, this is a very short time for this to get this big and look this great. Good replacement for Japanese maples. And then tucked at the end of this bed is some more of the white zinnias. Over here, you guys just saw me do sunflowers. And then here, this is euphorbia, and I've been kind of disappointed with it. This is supposed to be the mountain snow, and it is very green, and it's taken them so long to do anything that I'm just not even going to use them. Over here is status. I'll grow a whole bunch of this next year. This is Forever Silver, and I have harvested and harvested and harvested, and you can't even tell. This is some snapdragons. They're done, but they will pick back up once it gets a little bit cooler in the fall time. So this is the apple blossom and something white. And I love snapdragons. I had somebody asking me what I was doing the other day with them, and then you can make them. Let's see, can I find a bloom that does it? Yeah, you can make them talk. So you can make snapdragons talk if you squeeze the throat of them. So fun little trick. I used to do that when I was a kid. Over here, this is some like Sweet Annie or something like that, and good filler. It smells really strong, so I only use a little tiny bit per filler. Here, these are some mums. They're supposed to be the big mums they'll pick up in the fall, and Eurangium. And oh my gosh, I have loved the Eurangium. Let me see if I can create a shadow. Do you guys see how blue this is? It is like a very true blue color. They're so pretty. I love them. I've loved using the Eurangium or sea holly. I have a blue variety here. They're very, very blue. Even the stems on them are a very blue color. I don't know if you guys can even see that on the camera, but very blue, and then a white one. And so blue glitter and white glitter, and they're just fun plants. I like using them. They're kind of spiky, but not like, I mean, you can see I'm able to run my fingers through it, so it's not gonna like stab you, but you can feel that the leaves of them have a little poke to them, but it's nothing. But the bees have loved them, and other pollinators have really, really enjoyed the Eurangium. And the last row here, this is been more like shade plants. So this first thing here, I just popped in some sunflowers right here because now this bed is getting more sun because we took out some pretty large branches from the tree. So this area gets more sun now. So sunflowers here. This is Bells of Ireland, and I thought it was going to be way bigger. It's maybe 12 inches tall. It's not big at all. So we'll see if it continues to grow. They all died except for two of them. So I have one plant here and another plant tucked in right there. And then I just tucked in some zinnias where the rest of the Bells of Ireland died. So this is a pink one here. This is like a pinkish cream one. And there's the other Bells of Ireland right there, and they just haven't performed all that well. So zinnias tucked into the end of this, just a menagerie of different colors. Another one of these like bright pink ones. This is a Benaries, purple with lime, I believe. And then I have some Lisianthus here, and oh my gosh, this is such a slow growing plant. They prefer even closer spacing than this, and this is 6-inch spacing. And I don't know if I'm gonna grow Lisianthus again, because this is insane how slow it's growing. I mean, I'm getting the buds on them. I'm getting buds, I'm getting flowers. But holy cow, it has been so slow. Anyways, down here, these are poppies. I'm not gonna grow any poppies next year for cut flowers. These are the Thai silk. They're so pretty, and I would love them if these started taking over the property for poppies instead of like the orange colored one. And these are the seed heads right here. So they get these long seed heads. Definitely not a poppy to use for cut flowers. Here is the Swans Down. The blooms are done, but I will pop some photos up of what they look like. But the seed heads on this one are so fun. This is a smaller one. There's some much larger ones over there. These will be so pretty to use in fall flower arrangements. So I'm letting them dry, and then I'm gonna save the seed. Like I said, this is the Swans Down, and I will be growing a ton of these next year. Absolutely loved them. They just require definite like staking for them. Over here, this is Amazing Gray, and this thing has not stopped blooming. It is such a pretty one. They're very papery. They don't do very well in flower arrangements. You can see, I can see right through them. They're basically translucent, but they're a gray color. They come in a whole bunch of different colors. You can see, like, this one is very gray in comparison. This one's almost white, but it has not stopped, and there's even more coming along. So this is what the pods look like before they open, and this is what the pods look like after they open. I have loved Amazing Gray. I would like to grow this in other places on the property, not so much right here, but it has been super pretty, but not to use for cut flower garden. And then over here, the very last thing, this is Dusty Miller, and I have 2 varieties of Dusty Miller. So this is this one here is your traditional Dusty Miller. You find this pretty much everywhere in the little 6-packs. And then this one is called New Look. The leaves are much broader, as you can see. And they're just as soft, the exact same color, maybe a little more green to them, but I think that's just because the leaves are so much broader, so you see the green more. And I cannot wait for these ones to get tall so I can use these, especially in fall time and wintertime bouquets. What had happened though was I was trying to make it so they were like set rows, but I dropped the tray of them, and the seedlings went everywhere and the tags went everywhere. So they're kind of like spread out in between each other. But this section right here is good because, you know, that's the New Look. And then that section right there is the old look. But then just this section got twisted, which is crazy because all of them fell out of the trays and I just had to like put them in the ground. So this is our cut flower garden. It goes all the way back to the willow. And now we're going to go into the vegetable garden. And I'm going to show you guys that area really quick, which it's right back here. So we're going to go under the willow, which I actually just did some trimming on. And we're gonna come in here. So this is our vegetable garden. This is what used to be the vegetable garden. And on the outside, this is grapes, which I actually have grapes growing on them. And I'm so excited for that. They didn't produce anything last year, so first year getting grapes. I have some scabiosa. This is the black one. This plant is from last year, so they winter over here in our warmer zone. Ooh, it's getting a little windy. See all that? The birch trees are moving. These are the seed pods that I love to use, and it's still producing flowers. This is a very old one. You can see that all the little flowers are dropping off of it, and this is a brand new one. This one's very flat, but still really pretty nonetheless. Okay, so if we come in here, like I said, cut flower garden. Over this arbor, I do grow morning glories. That has nothing to do with cut flowers or vegetables, but I love morning glories, and there's 2 different varieties. This is the traditional blue one, and very, very striking. And this one is called Chocolate, and it's a very mauve color and very large blooms. Heart-shaped leaves, and then there's these ones. I can't remember which ones belong to which now. It's been a minute since I planted these. Oh my gosh. So 2 different varieties here, and I can tell by the leaf structure. They're both morning glories though. The mauve one, which is Chocolate, and then this is your traditional one, which actually came from a seed packet from the Dollar Tree years ago, and I just save seeds every single year. And this one is the first to grow and the fastest to grow, and you can see it has reached, and it's reaching up there, and then it'll start to flop, and it's gonna totally fill this thing in. So you come in here, this is one of the only vegetables. I have 2 tomato plants in here. So this one is the Fall Gold, and I get so many tomatoes off of it, and I love coming out here and just snacking on it. These Fall Gold tomatoes are so good. They're a really good little snacker. Love them. Highly recommend this one if you like little snacking tomatoes. They're so good, and they're not super acidic. I love it. I just come out here and I eat these all the time. Okay, let me turn the camera back around. So this bed here is what was holding my garlic. I still have some garlic in here I need to come harvest. It's time to harvest it. It's definitely ready. I can tell by all the dead leaves. Let me show you guys actually. So if we pull this up, look at that. First garlic harvest of the year. Bam. Love growing garlic. That's a good size head. And this is a soft neck. I thought it was a hard neck. So soft neck garlic, and I grow it from saved garlic over the years. So I need to come in and pull the rest of these out of here. There's just a few in this bed and a few over in that bed there. Anyways, this is the Cosmo Patch, and this is called Cupcake White, and it's so pretty. It's one solid petal all the way around. Really, really pretty. These guys haven't quite really taken off yet. This one is Double Click Snow Puff, and it hasn't really taken off yet. None of these have really taken off quite yet, but this one is really pretty. I love the ruffliness of it. I can't wait to start really using these. This area gets the most shade until about the next hour, so it'll be about 10 o'clock when this area starts to get full sun, and then it gets full sun till probably about 4. So it's not a whole lot, but it does get a good amount. Over here, this one is supposed to be Senorita pink, but it doesn't look like the picture. It's supposed to be a very cactusy type. It's the very mauvey red color, and they start out this vibrant red, and then they age to this, which I actually prefer this color right here anyways. So we'll see what these do. This is the Cosmo Patch. Oh, I totally forgot. This right here is a grass, and I love harvesting it. You're supposed to harvest it at a much younger stage, at like this stage right here, when they look like this, when they're still close, but I like them when they're like this. It's called Frosted Explosion, and it adds some really cool texture to a bouquet. I just throw in a couple of them, but Frosted Explosion, I love this grass, and I just grow it in a container. So over here, this is my basil area. This is where I tried to grow some more basil, but it didn't work out, so I gotta reseed it again. I want this thing full of basil. I love using it. This is the cinnamon basil, and using this in arrangement gives the arrangements such a great smell. When I was at the senior living facility last time, that's all they could talk about was how much the basil smells so good. So there's one variety there, one variety there, and then this is one variety, and you can see only, one of those, each of those made it. So that was kind of a bummer, but I'm gonna sow some more and then grow it on. That is a blueberry plant. Been super disappointed. We really aren't even supposed to be able to grow blueberries here, so that's my own fault. This, however, is a blackberry, and we grow all of our berries in containers just so I don't deal with runners or whatever. This is the sweet pea area, and I'm letting these ones go to seed so I can save the seeds for them. This was the chocolate streamer, and I've loved it. This is what some of them look like. It's been infested with aphids, so I'm just leaving it. I'm letting the aphids have this and letting it go to seed so I can save seed for next year. I can see some of these are almost done. This is another dahlia. You can see it was very red, and it's a very bright, true red color. And I named this one after my mom. There's lots more coming along. I saw it and instantly thought of my mom when I saw it. It looked like a ladybug. My mom's favorite animal is ladybugs. She has one tattooed on her. And so this just reminded me of her, but now it's all, I don't know, it's spent. And this is one that I had actually started from seed, and I ran out of room in the cut flower garden area where the seeds were. So I just popped it back here, and then they started dying over in that section, and this one made it. So we're gonna leave it and see what it does. Like I said, leaving the sweet peas. Coming over this way, this is our chicken coop, and this is the chicken run back there. This is where I used to grow my greens, like lettuce and carrots and things, but this here is some more Queen Anne's lace. I re-sowed it back here, and they're getting so big back here, and they're so dark. They're so pretty. Some white ones. I need to come in and stake these guys up, but some dark purple ones, some lighter purple ones. All of the colors have come up back here. Really, really happy. I love Queen Anne's lace. So I'm really happy to be able to have more of this and be able to use it. And I have some more garlic here. I thought this was garlic, but these are looking like onions. So I'm going to pull one up in a minute. Let's pull it up now. Let's see. Who are you? Are you an onion? No? What the heck? Is that a leek? I have no clue what this is. It smells like garlic. This is definitely a garlic of some type. I'm going to have to look it up because all of these ones in this bed look really weird. They look just like this. I'm gonna toss that there. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna have to check these out because this is really weird. They don't look like garlic. They smell like garlic, and I thought they were garlic. So we'll see. Over here, this is more just vegetables. You can see there's some tomatoes here. These are Roma tomatoes. We eat a ton of Romas, so that's why I grow Romas. I only grow 2 varieties. I grow Romas, and then I grow a little snacking one, the fall gold. Oh, that's not right. Sun gold tomato. Oh my gosh. Sun gold and Roma tomatoes. Those are the 2 that I grow. This is our nectarine tree, and there should be a couple nectarines in here. Let's see if we can find these bad boys. So they got diseased, but there's a couple pieces of fruit. You can see there's one right there. So I'm babying it. There's another one tucked in right there. I really would like to be able to try the nectarines off of this thing. This is a dwarf version. I think it's like 6 to 8 feet tall, but I'm keeping it in a container so it won't get too tall, but it's gonna need to be repotted here pretty soon. This is the berry section. I have the fall gold in here, and I've pretty much picked this thing clean. There's almost no berries on it. I need to come in and stake it up though. You can see it's giving me a second flush of flowers, so lots more berries coming. So very, very excited. If you're gonna only grow 1 variety of berry, highly recommend fall gold. It has been amazing. I have 2 thornless berries in here, and I need to pull them out and plant them in containers, so this whole section can be the fall gold. Let me show you Lola. She's mad I'm ignoring her. Hi, Miss Lola. Come here. Come here. She doesn't like corn. The chicks do. This is Mama. Hey, Mama. We've had her forever. No? Okay. Those are the chickens. Chicken coop and chicken run. Okay, back to this though. Highly recommend growing fall gold if you're only going to grow 1 variety of berries. This is a blackberry. I'm probably going to get rid of this. It's never actually even produced berries for us, which is really weird. So I think that's it. Wow, so that was it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure someone's gonna ask. That right there is a speaker though, and we play Lola music when she starts freaking out. It helps her calm down a little bit. She's so spoiled. I love her, but she drives me crazy because she makes noise all day long, but I absolutely do love her. So we play her music when she starts getting a little too crazy. Most days she is out with us and out with the dogs, but some days, or like this morning, she is in the coop still because I just haven't let her out yet. It's 9:30. It's 9:30 in the morning. She's not out yet, okay? She'll be fine. But that's gonna be it for the cut flower portion of the garden tour. And tomorrow's garden tour is going to be the rest of the property. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the cut flower garden tour. I enjoyed showing you guys around because everything is really started to come into bloom, and everything is really starting to look super nice around the property. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.